Today's the day. Yeah.
Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Make sure your phones are off. Guess I'm gonna turn mine off. Okay. Roll call.
Paula DePace.
Here.
Donna Mosier. Here. Eileen Dunn.
Here.
Rick Agler.
Present.
Bill Heidenreich. Barry Burgess. Lemay Nyford.
Here.
Ed Weiner.
Here. Proof of notice, Jack?
Proof of notice is posted Monday morning.
Okay, a motion would be in order for the disposition of the prior meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, a motion would be in order to accept the treasurer's report as passed out.
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as passed.
I can't hear you.
Sorry. I make a motion that we approve the treasurer's report as written.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Park Committee.
Ed Ever for the Art Committee. We received 31 requests, all 33 were okay.
Okay,
I make a motion that we accept the ARC, the recommendation of the ARC committee and approve 31.
is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, I skipped over the manager's report.
Okay with me? We'll start out on February 23rd. The vendor installed the replacement camera on the pool deck, which our guys had to dig the new trench for to get the new wire back over the building. A little bit of effort there, but it was all done. On February 22nd, 23rd, the staff cleaned out the gutters around the building in preparation for the installation of the new gutter guards. The weekend of February 24th, Mark began the pressure cleaning, painting, and stenciling of the shuffleboard courts, which is now complete. They're totally refurbished. On Monday, February 26th, the staff had to acid soak the pool filters because they're clogging up so rapidly. It was getting so bad we ended up replacing them. Everything's working fine now, but the filter grids have been replaced. On the 27th, the staff put out the yard sale banners. I understand there was quite a bit of traffic in here for that. March 5th, the gutter guards were installed on the clubhouse. The staff has been busy cleaning up fallen leaves here at the community center, completely filling our dumpster up a couple of times, and they've still got more to go. Already mentioned the pool filter grids. On March 12th, Mark had to address an electrical problem in the RV lot. There was a faulty GFI outlet, which he replaced. Mark also had a good time, jumped in the spa and repaired the grout on the spa and enjoyed a good soaking at the same time. Mark also repaired the loose handrail that was improperly installed when the deck had new pavers installed. That has since been fixed. On March 15th, the new kitchen refrigerator was delivered, working as advertised. For you residents in attendance, if you have not yet filled out a proxy and dropped it in the proxy box in the front hallway, please do so. It's very important that we meet a quorum in order to hold the actual annual meeting. Just because there's no election doesn't mean you don't need to fill out that proxy. So please get that done. You can go see Darlene right after the meeting. She'll be happy to give it to you. I got a few other add-ons here that I did after I had this printed out. The staff repaired some cracks and sealed the cracks and painted on the RV lot wall. Nick reset a drainage pipe out front here that was way uneven and not draining properly, so it's all sloped properly now. Aquacal changed the thermostats on the pool geos. We were having an issue of the thermostats on the geo not matching the thermostat on the propane heater. We used a digital thermometer and found out the propane heater was the correct one. So Aquacal came out and replaced the thermostats in the geos. They're now matching. So we don't have to sit there and do the math to figure out what temperature to set it. Mark also changed out the kitchen lights to LEDs from the faltering fluorescence. And one more issue is we've talked about the sidewalks before. It is looking more and more, after getting hold of some ordinance from another attorney that I know who gave me a freebie, that the responsibility to repair these sidewalks around here is going to fall on the association. Not written in stone yet, but that is definitely the way it looks like it's leaning at this point. I just want to give everybody a heads up on that one. And that's all I've got at this point. If you have any questions, let me know.
I want to say that I saw the shuffleboard courts. They look great. I'm hoping that we don't have problems with water laying on them. I think that might be a problem, but until that turns out, they look wonderful. So thanks to Mark.
Well, the
Everyone
expense
who
was
did that.
much lower just recoating this in this fashion. In order to get rid of those areas that hold water, you would have to literally resurface them at quite an expense.
Any questions for the manager? Eileen?
Jack, can our guys fix the sidewalks?
I would not recommend it. I know several concrete contractors that are very reasonable, but the only problem we're going to have is getting rid of the tree roots that are causing the problem. Be some heavy stump grinding, chopping and what have you to get down to where you can put a sidewalk back in level. So that's where most of your expense is going to run into.
Yes?
Good morning. There's a broken bench in the women's bathroom. I don't know if you've learned that. It doesn't fit right. You'll see it's broken. You can't sit down.
You hear that, Mark?
Yeah, someone's on it already. What's that? Yeah. You can't sit on it properly.
For all residents who are here, Kathy, if, from now on, if you see something like that, you don't have to wait for a meeting, just go to the office and let them know. Okay, thank you.
Okay, committee reports. Well, go ahead. This for the manager?
Yes, Lucy Ola, Casuarina Drive. 10 years ago, someone tripped and fell in Old Pine Circle, and the homeowner got sued because it was the sidewalk was uneven, and they hired an attorney and everything, and the homeowner ended up paying for everything. So, I mean, I don't know if the laws have changed since then. So.
This is part of the conversation that I've had with the association attorney. Will the association's insurance cover claims from a trip and fall that is not on association property? That's another question that's going to have to be answered here in the future, because it's up in the air right now. If we're going to be responsible for it, are we going to have to make or ask our insurance company to cover those? And if so, how much of an increase in the premium would there be? So it's still all in the works, it's still in play.
Well, we definitely need some answers on that, so keep the pressure on. Okay, moving on to committee reports. Start out with the Live Oaks Committee.
Good afternoon, Bev Hudak, President, Live Oaks. Our first new board member meeting will be on March 26th at 10 a.m., which is our normal time to have our board meetings. We're going to appoint the director positions, the publicity activities, and membership as required by our bylaws. We'll review the roles and responsibilities of all the positions, and we'll discuss the events for 2024. The other item is this golf cart festival that currently is scheduled for Saturday, April 6th, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the parking lot on the gazebo side. We have hosts for it. They're going to be using the parking lot entirely on the gazebo side, which will be limited to parking for golf carts. That doesn't mean that golf carts can't park there. Our experience with these golf carts having the parades, we see anywhere from 30 to 50 participants. And from the responses we've gotten on our different social media sites, people seem very excited about it. So we're anticipating a large influx of our golf cart owners to be there, because there are some services going to be provided by a local golf cart company, which is certainly to their benefit. So we're also going to have some games. There is going to be food for sale, and we're going to have some music there. So are there any questions?
What date is that again?
Pardon me?
What date are you talking about?
April 6th, Saturday, from 1 to 6.
And is there a title for it? Is there a name?
Yes, it's called the Golf Cart Festival.
Oh, golf cart.
LeMay.
My fear is that this is a Saturday, and Saturdays the parking lots get pretty full. I'm pretty sure, and someone can help me out there who would know, but I believe the bocce is finished by then, is that correct?
Yes, the tournament's over tomorrow.
Okay. My concern is that it's 5 hours, and for 5 hours, no one can park on that side.
Well, golf carts can park on that side, which is the reason for the activity.
I understand that, but then are they not allowed to park on the other side?
Oh, no, they can park on the other side if they want, but the reason is that they'll be coming in to actually utilize their golf carts and have the golf cart company that's coming in actually give them some free checks on their golf carts.
I understand that. My problem is we have a lot of cars, and where are they gonna go? I mean, I don't know that, hopefully those that are driving cars would also have golf carts and would be on the other side for the most part. But with the food stand, and I understand that's being done by Live Oaks,
Yes.
other people are going to come down and want to take advantage of that. So
And
I'm
we
just a
do,
little concerned that it's so long and that no one else can park on that side. Is there any way it could be consolidated down into the lower area, like where we used to have music on the lake?
well, we have looked at that, and unfortunately, because of the golf carts going in and out to be able to get to the golf cart company that's going to do these free checks, they'll have to come down around and come through there. So if we block off the top section even for car parking, then we're eliminating the number of golf carts that we can park up there. And we are only putting a table out for food. We're not putting the grill out or any of that. So that will be, more limited space. Also, the wood shop is doing a demonstration, which they're going to make sure that people can get into the wood shop and see it, which, most people don't even know what's in there. So we thought that was another reason to be able to have the entire lot.
Now, is the wood shop, where is that demonstration gonna be? Because I was told.
It's going to be on the side out here, outside.
Okay, alongside the building.
I interrupted. It's my understanding that the equipment's gonna stay in the shop. They're not gonna bring anything outside.
If that's the case, how are they going to do a demonstration? Where are people? People can't all be in the wood shop while the machines are running.
I'm going to let Dave handle that because he's been dealing with the wood shop.
We're still developing.
Come up to the mic, Dave.
Dave Kaufman, 8235 Palencia Drive. Thank you. We're still developing the involvement with the wood shop. We'll do, and I know they're anxious to have people know about this amenity that all of us have, and very few of us, me included, have ever even been inside because of some requirements. So the thought was, they're right there. Why don't we use this event to, cheer us all on? That's one of the amenities that we get here in this beautiful property as well, and all that this facility has to offer. So that was the thinking behind it. We can work it out any way that you guys want to. I'm sure they're willing to make any, but to be able to have people tour the facility and see it, or at least look in the door and see how beautifully it is outfitted, and that it's there for all residents, I think was important. So that was what I thought.
Dave, didn't you tell me you were gonna put the lathe outside so people could?
I did say that, and why I did, Ed, I don't know. I thought that was, I thought that's how people would see it. But so, like I said, we're refining it, and we'll accept any refinements, any requirements. But the overall idea of allowing people to see what's in there, and the woman that's doing the lathe turning wanted to do it herself. She's small and she works wood, and she felt like this would be a good example for a lot of other women who live in Timber Oaks, that they can come to the wood shop too. So that was why we wanted to show somebody doing things. So, but we'll modify, just give us direction, and I'll see that it's done expressly as you asked to have it done.
I would suggest you get hold of the gentlemen who do the workshop and Jack, and see what is the safest and the best way to do it. I know we can't have a lot of people in that wood shop, it's not that big. You know, if you get 10 people, you're overcrowded, so it'll have to be outside somewhere.
Chris?
I'm not sure when you say demonstration, then you're talking about one demonstrations, or if you're taking tour groups of 7 or 8 at a time through, it could be done that way, because like you say, the wood shop is small.
It's fortuitous that you mentioned that, Rick, because that's exact. There are going to be 2 different ones. We're still putting the times together. It's going to be the same activity and the same person putting it together, but like one, we're still getting our music line up, so we're trying to put this in between people that are doing vocal appearances at the lake and do these. So they're going to do 2 of them. So that would, if we could do it that way. But we were turning off the machinery inside the shop because you can't go in there without signing all kinds of waivers. So the whole idea was to shut it down for the day. So anybody that lives here could come in and see what a beautiful outfitted shop that we have available for their use.
Can I say that I think the waivers are to use the machines, so I don't know that they necessarily have to be turned off. I mean, someone would have to be in there to monitor and make sure someone doesn't turn any of the machines off, because there are some huge machines in there. So I don't really think the waiver, people could go in and look without having to sign waivers, but someone will have to be in charge of taking people in and out.
My contact was Pat Tony, or Tony. She's the one in the bulletin that is the advertiser of the wood shop, as well as some stuff in the art center. And so she's the one that I've been communicating with. So I will take any advice you guys have to make this happen, because I really think it would benefit the citizens, to tell you the truth. Thank you so much for considering.
Eileen?
Is this golf cart inspection open to the whole community, or is this just the people in the parade thing?
It's everyone that has a golf cart in the community.
They're gonna be able to do this for everybody?
It's just a little inspection. It's not like they're putting it up on a lift and doing anything
I'm
to
just
it. It's
thinking
just,
there are a lot of golf
a little
carts.
safety. It's an electric golf cart, so it's just a little safety thing and pointers that they can give them. That otherwise, these people have to pay to take their golf cart over to a golf cart shop to have this done.
No, I'm just thinking the number.
And that's why we feel we need the whole lot, so that they can move around and get to that point.
We're gonna put them all.
Anything else? Any other board members have a question? Okay.
I would like to make the board aware also that we've already assembled a volunteer corps to bring anyone who wants to come in an automobile and attend this event. We'll pick them up in the lot over there. They'll be on duty the whole time. Bring them over with their chair and cooler, find a place in front of where the music's going to be for them to sit, and then take them back when they're ready to make it a day. And I went over there yesterday. There's really more handicap parking right along the edge of the building on that side than there actually is on this side. And I did count the number of parking spots over there, and there is quite a few parking places over there. So for one day is all we're asking for, to let the small carts be supreme and the autos park over there. Thank you.
Paula?
Beverly? Well, yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, a motion would be in order to allow this.
So move.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you all.
There's no report from fines and suspension from Liz. Paving update.
The board, you should have a little spreadsheet in your packet that looks like this. These are the bids that have been turned in so far. We're expecting one more bid on this Friday. But as you can see so far, Pavemaster has the best bid of the three that you're looking at. Our engineer did go out and look at other jobs that Pavemaster has done, and he feels they were all done beautifully, no issues with them whatsoever. So I'm definitely going to be leaning towards Pavemaster. We're going to see what this other company has this Friday, but if they don't beat Pavemaster, I'm going to highly recommend that we go with Pavemaster on the project. Bob, the engineer, has already written up a contract that covers everything possible, and it's ready for signatures, when we're ready to do this project.
Who was the one that we met with that day with Bob?
I don't know if it was either TCT or Keystone Excavation, Rose Paving, one of the two. But Bob is going over the contract specs again with Pavemaster to make sure that he understands what everything is involved in the project. And he says he's got it down, and that's his price.
Okay.
Now, he's also looking to get in the door with the county when if they ever address paving within this community, which is in desperate need of, but he's looking to get a foot in the door that way, and that's part of the reason he's keeping his price down.
LeMay?
I think for residents, you need to know that what the bids were. TCT Construction gave us a bid of $279,315. Rose Paving gave us a bid of $358,223. Pavemaster, which is the one we're leaning to, gave us a bid of $145,867.
Quite a big variation.
I would believe it.
Yeah, that there's like no choice, and the fact that our engineer checked out other jobs that they've done. That sits fine with me.
He's been fully vetted by our engineer.
Yeah. What is the 1 to 120 days, the 60 days, the 4 days?
That's supposed to be for the completion of the project. He's re-talked to Pavemaster and extended that out to 14 days due to the fact that they have to do one parking lot, totally complete it, restripe it, do all the work before moving to the other one.
Okay.
So I believe it's a 14-day completion in the contract that he sent over this morning.
Compared to 120 days.
That's
And 60.
Okay, Eileen?
Are these all comparative bids? Are they all using the same amount of blacktop, all that?
yes, they're all bidding on the same specifications prepared by the engineer.
That's why we hired an engineer.
Told you guys we needed that.
There's quite a-
Okay,
There's quite a difference.
anybody want to make a motion?
Well, if we don't make a motion today, do we have to wait till the next meeting because we're expecting a bid on Friday?
Yeah, but that's the only thing. We're expecting another bid on Friday that
I
I'm
don't
sure
expect-
you all would like to look at. But
I don't think there's any way
you could take,
they're gonna beat this bid.
you could make a motion pending the other bid defeating this bid. You're accepting Pavemasters.
Well, also, as we've done in the past, we could have a bid where we all sign. Of course, you gotta have unanimous on that, just so the audience knows what's going on, is that when something comes up and there's not a meeting, we can pass something, but it has to be unanimous among the board, and we have to sign a physical signature right there. And then it's announced at the next open meeting. So there is a way if we get this, I'm like you, I can't imagine it, but I hate to, or, you know, in case a guy looks at this bid and figures he can do it for 99,000 or something.
Why don't we just approve this pending if the other bid comes in lower?
Okay, so we need a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the bid of let's say 46,000 from Pave Master with the so that if another bid comes in lower, we are able to take that one.
By Friday. Right? Do we have a second? All? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I ask the
Opposed?
question again? Can I ask the question? Kathy Horniak.
Just a minute. Let's finish the
Okay.
vote.
I'm gonna ask.
Okay, pass. Go ahead.
It would be nice when they turn up the parking lot. Electricity.
Can't hear you. You
Oh.
gotta,
It would be nice if we turn up the parking lot to add electricity out to where Music on the Lake was, maybe make a little platform. That would be part of what, like Pave Master could do to make that nice in the future. You don't have to drag electricity across the parking lot.
We already have electricity out there.
But don't you have to drag something out there to have it? No? And wouldn't it be nice to have a little platform or something to have it there? No?
You have power at the dock, right, Mark?
But would it be nice if you're doing a sidewalk there to make a little bit bigger section?
No.
You don't think you don't like that idea?
we don't want to change the specs at this thing. We've been waiting
I know,
forever.
I know. It's just a thought. Just a thought. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on. Discussion of speed humps. LeMay.
I know our 6 months is just about out with speed humps. Our choices at this point are to keep them and pay for them, which means every resident in here will pay for the speed humps. I'm not sure what they were to cost. Was it 6,000 each? 12,000 each per year.
And here's the kicker.
Stop and let's get the information.
All right, and here's the kicker. They would have to put, in order to make them permanent, and we purchase them and assess it to the owners, 70% of the residents of the community would have to respond to a poll taken, and 60% of that 70% would have to have an affirmative vote to keep them. Otherwise, it does not fly.
Jack, is the 12,000 per year or just one time?
I believe it's a one time.
One time per speed hump?
Yeah, for each pair. That's me.
Okay, so there's 5 of them out there now,
Right?
so that would be $60,000. Rick?
Yeah, I quite frankly was taught that what we have out there now is a temporary speed bump or hump or whatever you want to call it. And that the permanent one was something different.
Yes, they are.
And, well, everybody knows this is my last meeting, okay? But I still would think that we'd want to look into, see what they're proposing and, get it more formal. I mean, I don't think they're gonna come in here in between their 2 meetings here and yank out the speed bumps or bumps and charge us more. But I think you need more information is exactly what are we getting for $12,000? And if that is the price, because we heard 6,500 at one point, and I did hear that it kind of changed. So I'm just saying, I doubt that we really have good information to vote on these today.
LeMay?
With Jack saying that 70% would have to participate in a poll and 60% of those would have to agree to it, I don't see that happening, to be honest with you. I have heard so many complaints here about those speed humps. I don't see that they're really doing much good. We've had people driving around them, driving over them. I've gone over one and I've had somebody speed past me going the other way. I don't really see where they're helping.
Well,
It's almost like a challenge.
Drag race from speed hump to speed hump.
Well, are the new ones going to be across the whole road? These things are like half-white. I mean, we don't even know what we'd get for the $60,000. I think that's a lot of money for what they're doing. I don't know why we can't look into stop signs.
And it also says it wouldn't be charged to the association. The installation is funded by an assessment of all affected property owners for the cost of the devices.
And the installation, the cost and the installation of this device.
So it would be added to our taxes.
I'm assuming.
Donna?
I have seen. I have seen that. There it is. Okay. I have seen that it has made some difference. We don't have as much traffic coming through. But I think too, if we do get the speed humps that go all the way across, all they're gonna do is drive onto the grass like they're doing now. And unless we have the blocks on the side like we're doing. So I really don't know how to go about stopping this.
Yeah, they're actually driving
And they're not
around
gonna stop for stop signs.
they're actually driving around the reflective stanchions.
Right.
What happened, they're going that far onto the property.
But they don't stop for stop signs that we have in here now. They're not gonna stop
No,
long
they
that we
don't.
have a lot like.
Jack, where did the requirement of 70% and 60% of that come from?
Straight from the county,
County says that.
yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I didn't know whether we made that up or somebody.
Oh,
Thank you.
I got it right here from the
I find it very doubtful that we're able to.
Is that
meet requirement.
70% of those that vote or 70% of our total
Forgive
residents?
me, it's they need a response of 75%. And then the approval of 60% of that 75, not 70. But they'll need a response from 75%.
Of the residents, of
Yeah.
the,
Do
of
you
the
think-
households.
Do you think you're gonna get that?
Luciola, Casuarina Drive. My understanding was that the county was gonna come back after this, the trial period, and give the board the information on the numbers from when they took it before they were in and after they were in, so you guys could tell if we had actually a decrease in, traffic in here. And also my understanding is that the humps, not bumps that they would be putting in, they go up, go flat across, and then go down. They're not these things that we have now. And
I don't
safety.
know of any of that.
Okay, well, the guy in Oak Forest that spoke with the county, I didn't know this was gonna be on the agenda because it's not posted off of building here. I would have had him come in, but if we're gonna speak about it at the next meeting, maybe by then he'll have information from the county. I don't know, I think safety first. I would like to see it because people are crazy when they drive. They run this stop sign over here at Maricopa like it's nothing. I mean, if you don't slow down, you're gonna get broadside.
Dave Holland. Yeah, if we're gonna go with the speed humps, I don't think we have enough. Be honest with you, like where we live in Monterey over the hill, that's where they need a speed hump because those cars come over that hill so fast. I don't care at night, you think because of you might see their lights over the hill, you can't. And there's gonna be a bad accident there if there's gonna be an accident. Now, you only got a few of these, as far as I'm concerned. If you're gonna do it right, we need a lot more speed humps. But to be honest with you, I don't know how many times I go slow over the speed hump. Somebody goes around me on the other side and almost cut me off. I almost hit 2 cars in the last 2 weeks because I'm going over them slow and I start to pick up speed. They're going around me. And then you got all these kids out here with these burning rubber over the top of the speed humps. Is that really look attractive to Timber Oaks? We didn't have this problem as much as we have now with the kids doing that. I still say there's 2,000 people that live in Timber Oaks that pay taxes. Get the sheriff to come at a certain time of the day. They know when these kids are out here. Have them go out there a few times, and that'll stop a lot of the problems. And do you think we're having less traffic through Timber Oaks? I don't think so. I go through here a lot, and I still see a lot of cars coming in Timber Oaks. I don't see any less. And if you want to do anything, I say stop signs, because you know what? If we put stop signs at every corner like they have down here on the way out on 52, it will stop people from going through, and it will slow down the traffic. And the ones that come in from outside of Timber Oaks, they're gonna get distracted enough, they're gonna say, let's find another way around it. And it'll be a lot cheaper to go with stop signs.
The only thing, Dave, and I've heard others mention this, that we need to have them at different areas. We agree, but we tried. They wouldn't even listen to us before they put these in. One of our biggest ones was the one that came before, is it Monterey? Monterey Village. They knew better. And how they could not look at that and see that coming over that hill at any speed was gonna cause problems, they would not listen to us. We went to Mariani, we went everywhere. They put them where they wanted.
I appreciate the board
Ellie,
reconsidering.
wait.
And as far as the sheriff's office goes, there's one sheriff out of every 10 that even has the speed radar. I have asked them to set out here at night and in their certain areas, and they don't turn their lights on, showing everybody where they are. So that's not doing any good either. They will not come back out here and sit at night. I've caught about 4 or 5 sheriffs sitting right here in the parking lot, and they say there's nothing they can do either. So, and they're stretched so thin, getting the sheriff's office to help do anything is not good.
They're stretched so thin, but every time they pull a car over, there's 4 of them.
I personally do not like the speed bumps. I know that a lot of communities put them in and then took them out. The county did do a survey before. We talked about putting in these speed bumps, and they said the traffic did not really accomplish the putting the speed bumps in. But you pursued it and you got the piece. They came finally and put them in. I think it's an unnecessary expense. I don't know, like you say, all I know is a couple of communities said we've had it with it because it was dangerous for the cars. And when I slowed down, even though you slow down, you're still bumping your car back and forth. And I would really like to just say, let's not do the speed bumps, especially if we have to go through the process of, as Jack says, of having a survey taken to make sure everybody approves of it, because I think many people do not approve of the speed bumps. Thanks.
I would like to make a motion that we have the speed bumps removed at the end of our trial.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Can't hear you.
Gary? Yeah, I need batteries too. The lights off. Okay, we'll move to this one. All right, Live Oaks recently had an election, and they have new officers. They need to come forward and get sworn in. President Beverly Hudak, Vice President Gail Rupp, Treasurer Lynn Stanford, Secretary Leonard Leidick. So please come up to the front. Karen Fritsch is going to do she ran the election.
The activities director.
I think the board needs to approve them first.
All right, let me do that now. I move to approve the newly appointed officers for Live Oaks Board, Beverly Hudock, Gail Rupp, Lynn Stanford. Well, he's not newly appointed. We'll add Leonard Leidick to that also, please.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I move to remove the outgoing Live Oaks officers, Jerry Beers, Beth Jahota, Robin Strice, and Stephanie Enrill as authorized signers for Timber Oaks Community Services Live Oaks account with the Bank of America.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, Karen, you want to swear them in, or?
If you would all repeat after me, and I'll start with I, and then please say your name. I solemnly affirm that I will uphold the bylaws and rules of the Live Oaks Committee of the Community of Timber Oaks, and will work in the best interests of the residents of our community. Okay, thank you.
Congratulations. We appreciate your volunteerism and your participation in this. All right, fines and suspensions.
We have 4. Actually, the first one was resolved, the one for, I won't read the address. First one for lawn and landscaping has been resolved. So I move to find the owner of 10515 Mira Vista Drive, $50 a day for maintenance that is in violation of Toxis covenants up to $5,000.
We have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I move to find the owner of 8034 Warrens Drive, $50 a day for maintenance that is in violation of Toxis covenants up to $5,000.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I move to find the owners of 8015 Warrens Drive, $50 a day for maintenance that is in violation of Toxis covenants up to $5,000.
I have that address.
8015.
No, you're looking at, look at the house here.
No,
That's the owner's address.
Actually, it has right above it, the numbers.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I move to find the owner of 11221 Elderberry Drive, $50 a day for rubbish and outside storage, which is in violation of Toxis covenants up to $5,000.
You have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That concludes fines.
Okay, moving on, under correspondence, we have a request for yoga.
I'm sorry.
No,
No, we're good. Wait, he's got it.
Okay, we have a request for waiving of fines.
And this came from another lawyer that said it. Is that correct?
Yep.
He's spending money on an attorney Ask us to waive fines.
Okay,
The request is that we waive all our fines and interest. He pays his attorney, he pays our attorney, and takes care of his grass. And that we give him a year to do it.
and the amount he owes is $5,366.72. If we will accept a payment of 12 months and credit him the soft cost of the landscaping fine, that's $1,500, and the interest of $92.88. What are the lawyer's fees? Is that the $1,500?
1,500 is fine.
100 is the fine. I think the lawyer's fee is like $2,000.
And our interest is $92.88. I'm sorry, but we have never allowed this, and I think to start allowing this sets a precedent that we don't want to do. And secondly, if this gentleman can hire a lawyer to do all this, why didn't he just pay his fines?
Any other discussion?
Well, I don't see, we give other people a chance to use a payment plan.
I'm not against the payment plan. I'm against lowering the fines or any of the fees that he owes. He's had how long till it gets to this point? And the fact that he owes this much means it's been going on for quite a while.
I would
$50 a
agree.
day and it's at $1,500?
No, I don't think we should lower anything. I would just set up a payment plan.
Get it full.
Karen?
Are the fines for the yard?
Yep.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Excuse me, but my whole community, every other house has a terrible lawn. How can that be? I thought we were in a drought and the county didn't require watering or didn't, I mean, I thought there was something about grass and watering and drought and this and that. Because, I mean, you go down my street, there's like 5 homes that are considered ghetto-like. With
We're
no
not-
lawns. I mean,
What's your point?
why are we not enforcing the rules equally across our community?
We're not saying he doesn't have a lawn. We're not saying he doesn't have grass. We're saying what he does have there, he is not taking care of. He will
Oh, so
have
he's not mowing and stuff like
mowing
that?
or doing anything else.
Oh,
There's weeds
okay.
and.
All right. I was just shocked that you were doing it for a
Oh,
lawn.
heck no, we'd have so many up here, it'd be ridiculous.
Thank you so much.
Any other discussion? Anybody want to make a motion that we deny it?
I make a motion that we deny the request for the waiver of fines from, I don't know, is it from the lawyer or?
Just deny,
Where's the address?
just do the address of the property, Lemay. I'll put that in the motion.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Okay.
find it.
It's 11040.
11040
Island Pine Drive.
Island
Island Pine Drive.
Island Pine Drive.
Have a second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Wait a minute. Discussion?
I'm having a hard time. My counting's a little rough here, I guess. But it says the offer to make. Microphone.
Thank you. It says the offer is that he will pay the entire amount of $5,366.72. Is that what he owes?
I'm sure that's the intent.
Well, he's making, it says that, he will pay the entire amount. Right
Yes, it
here,
does say
about
that.
the fourth line from the bottom of
Keep
the
reading,
second
Rick.
page. Well, I'm going to.
Keep reading. It's-
Well, but it's confusing.
I know.
If the association will accept a payment plan of 12 months, he still said he'd pay the whole amount, and credit him the soft cost, which I don't understand what that term means, a landscaping fine of $1,500, and the small interest of $92.88. Yeah.
He will pay $5,366.72 minus soft costs of the landscaping fine, which is $1,500 and $92.88.
Okay, is that what our bookkeeping shows he owes? That's what I'm kind of asking. I mean, I'm looking at figures by his lawyer, not that I don't trust lawyers, but,
I don't have that figure in front of me, but I'm assuming that's a figure that the attorney has given.
If you.
All we have to do is to deal with this is say no.
No.
Right.
So,
We don't have to worry about that. That's
all right,
record keeping.
yeah, fine, let's go with a vote.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I do want to ask one thing. Haven't we allowed payment plans before?
Yes, we always allow payment.
Okay, so that would still be offered.
Right.
But on the full amount.
At this point, I think they've got to come back and renegotiate as what it is, you know, how much is the full amount? And we need to know what the full amount is. I don't want to
Jack,
approve and accept 5,800 and find out it's 8,800 or something.
that is the
Okay.
5,000
Of course, I won't be
is the
here.
full amount. When you do 314 times 12, it only comes to 3,337.
So it's less than 1,500.
It's right, so that 5,000 less the 1,500 less the 92
Right, right.
is the 314.
Yeah, so 5,000 figure is the full amount.
Okay, moving on. We have a request to have a yoga class. Diane Walk, is she here? Would you like to come up?
Diane Walk, 8014 Merrimack Drive. Yes, there was someone put a post on Facebook. They were wondering if yoga was available, and I said I would lead the class. So at the moment, I created a little Facebook page for it, and there are 72 people who are interested. And I worked a few things out tentatively, contingent on your approval of that. Tomorrow, Thursday, I could have an introductory class, a demonstration, because we're set up for the corollaires in here. And then Tuesday, I would have a class, and it's going to be at 10 o'clock. And moving forward, it would be on Thursdays from 10 o'clock. Since there are so many people, I might be able to have two classes back to back, like one at 10 and one at 10:45. And also, I should be able to accommodate the people who need to be in a chair and, you know, whatever. I originally, my experience in this was because of a specific yoga for people with fibromyalgia. So it's really low key, but I have, of course, progressed. And so there may be somebody else who would want to do a more advanced yoga class in the future, since there's such a interest in it. And then the second part of that is I would like to lead a fibromyalgia support group, which I did in Pennsylvania. And people will probably be surprised, but I'm maybe living proof that you can live with fibromyalgia.
Great.
Yes, is this, I'm gonna phrase it in a way, is this a private enterprise, money-making item, or is this a volunteer of Timber Oaks volunteering to try to do these on a free basis for Timber Oaks residents?
I, as the leader of the class, am volunteering. There will be no charge for this.
Okay, good. Any other questions? LeMay?
You said you would have like a meeting Thursday for informational meeting?
Yeah, originally, you know, I thought I would have one Thursday, but because it's, you know, such a late notice, because the meeting was today, that I would also have it on Tuesday.
Okay.
But because we're set up for the corollaires, we thought that I could just, you know, do the demonstration, sort of explain to people what I have and vision for this, and, you know, whether they want to participate or not.
Okay, and your class would then follow on Thursdays from 10 to
11:30.
11:30?
The clubhouse is, the auditorium's a little difficult to schedule. So Thursdays looks promising. Deb was able to get me, I think it's the 18th and whatever the last two in April. And then moving forward, maybe once we're established, we can just grab that.
And
Thursday
is this
morning.
a weekly?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that we gave, what's that thing?
Pickleball. They
I was
come
gonna
in the
say
afternoon.
Bocce. Anyway, pickleball is here in the afternoon. I know that was one of the things for that is if something is being held in the auditorium, like a large gathering or it's rented or whatever, that it would then have to give way to that. That is still in consideration?
They come in the afternoon, so I didn't.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm saying your yoga class also. Jack, Darlene is looking. Sorry. No, but I'm saying if something is going on, like, let's say we're doing the veterans thing in the auditorium, you would have to get into them, but I think it's a great idea. There seems to be a whole lot of interest, a whole lot more than you thought there would be. At this point, I would like to approve the yoga, and I know you said doing something for the fibromyalgia. Can we hold off on that and just do the yoga at this point and see where we go?
Making a motion.
I don't see any reason to, hold off on the fibromyalgia support group.
When would that be held?
That depends on how many people there are interested in that, and I don't have that number yet. So, obviously I would be responsible for finding a place for us to meet. I originally thought we could meet right after the yoga class, but since there are so many people, I might have to have 2 yoga classes back.
I would move that we approve a request to have a yoga class here and a fibromyalgia class, and the details to be worked out with the office, so it does not interfere with other activities.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You go, girl.
Thank you.
Another great volunteer, Emerald.
Okay, a motion for adjournment would be in order.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Open forum is now open.
Shirley Natzel, Chateau 1. I have been coming to Timber Oak since its inception in 1976 and have owned my condo in Chateau since 1986. 37 plus years is a long time to come to one place, and I've done so because Timber Oaks is a friendly and hospitable community with many activities and amenities. When I returned to Timber Oaks from Wisconsin this January, I was sad and disappointed, as were many others. Johnny was told arbitrarily by one committee member that he was done playing music on the lake. This was after 70 free, well-attended concerts. There were a few incidents that might have sparked this dismissal, such as someone parking on the lawn, and Johnny finally, after many calls, had to climb over the fence and plug in the electricity after 50 to 75 people were waiting for the music to begin. These incidents are hardly severe enough to call for a dismissal. In Wisconsin, I served as president of a homeowners association for 12 years, and I have appointed numerous committees and have kept the homeowners happy. The board members, as well as the committee, took their role seriously. The bylaws were always enforced. Transparency was paramount, and we never failed to act without considering that we represented the residents, and the committee members or board members never made decisions on their own. The cancellation after Memorial Day was made by one person with no input from the entire committee.
with no input from the residents and no minutes or notes available as to why this action was taken. Several of us have asked to speak at a Tosca meeting where one resident who was speaking was cut off and told this was a Live Oaks matter. A few weeks later, we were not allowed to speak at the Live Oaks meeting while there was a pause when the ballots were counted. Live Oaks is not representing the people, is biased because one committee member has already voiced a dislike for Johnny and his music and is not transparent. The committee cannot continue to act in this manner. They are breaking the rules and making decisions without the input of the residents they represent and without consideration for the constituents who put them in office. In conclusion, I am asking you to reconsider having Music on the Lake by Johnny D. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrea Lucian, 10806 Yeshiva Drive. I'd like to offer an update to residents. On March 1st at the pool, Live Oaks President Jerry Beers admitted that he single-handedly canceled the Johnny D and Friends show. He also admitted that there never was a Live Oaks board meeting to cancel. There were 6 witnesses to the conversation. The manager and the Tosca board members have been advised in writing of that conversation. I'd like to know if Tosca has discussed any way to provide oversight to Live Oaks' apparent illegal cancellation due to personality issues, because this was no doubt an illegal act under Florida's HOA rules and Timber Oaks bylaws. The Johnny event supporters were told to address our concerns to Live Oaks directly, and we did so. We attempted to speak at the March meeting, and we were denied permission. And after the February Tosca meeting, the new Live Oaks president told Cheryl Greger that Music on the Lake may return, but never with Johnny D. This has demonstrated bias and obviously no objectivity on her part. Now, the residents feel that they've been given a runaround for 9 months. There have been no resolutions to the problem. Johnny first sang under Tosca in June of 2010 at the lake. That established a precedent then. There were no Live Oaks meetings or events scheduled inside or outside the clubhouse for many months. Why not let him sing again under the Tosca umbrella, like Choral Ears and Kaleidoscope? He has done 70 free shows for our community, and he's really been treated unfairly. Tosca can fix the division in our community.
I'm sorry, but I've got to stop right there.
I thought this was open forum.
I know, but I wanted to address your issue just now.
Okay.
That he has been treated unfairly. So has this board. For 6 meetings, we've had to put up with listening about having Johnny to come back. He has upset other people who have tried to come to the Music on the Lake and sing. He has also disrupted these meetings several times by waving hands and everything else when other people were trying to talk. I am not against Music on the Lake. I am against actions that's being taken like this right here with constant barraging of phone calls and letters and everything. We know that you guys want to have this come back. We are not against having it come back. We want to have a peaceful resolution, but things like this, constantly bringing up dissension, is not going to help this matter in any way or form. We are working on trying to bring it back and trying to work on resolutions, but this is not going to help. Pushing Johnny D only to be the only one.
I am a resident. I believe I deserve the respect to speak and finish my. First of all, if you run for public office,
No talking while someone's speaking, please.
First of all, if you run for a public office, you should be expecting to receive phone calls where people are upset over issues. That's part of your job. If you're not up to it, don't run for public office. Now, Tosca can fix this division in our community by simply reversing what Live Oaks decided to cancel. We can end 9 months of ongoing controversy. It's been going on that long. The residents feel, and I want to say this loudly, we feel that we've been unfairly deprived of a very popular event that we all enjoyed. There were 100 people approximately at the Memorial Day event where he sang last. Now, if this community wants harmony, let's let bygones be bygones, and let's just let the Johnny D and Friends return. It costs nothing. He does all of the work. And remember, that electricity and that area by the pool belongs to all of the residents, not to just a few of you. So, Tosca, thank you. Tosca can overturn one person's decision to shut down the event that has really taken the shine off living in this community. All of us snowbirds that came down here are really, really disappointed, along with the residents, that we can't have that once a week thing going on. Remember, the area on the lake and the electricity belong to all of the residents. So your best resolve is to please bring back the event officially by Tosca and not for Live Oaks, because you just heard the Live Oaks people swear to act with the best interest of the community, but they did not act with the best interest of the community, sadly. And you've already heard that the new president said that the event could return, but not with Johnny D. So my question is, if Tosca isn't willing to address this issue after 9 long months, what is to prevent the residents from just simply using our own power, using our own HOA property, and just having our own sing-along with Johnny D at the lake? Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Johnny D, 10811 Los Santos Drive. Good afternoon, everybody. Last month at the TOXA meeting, we were here, and our president and several of the other TOXA board members told everybody here, you're at the wrong meeting. We don't have anything to do with musical entertainment, and this was Live Oaks' decision, not our decision. So you need to go to the other board. Well, I'm going to read a little bit here from, this is the announcement when Music on the Lake was canceled. It said it was originally approved by your TOXA board. And later, when it's talking about canceling, it says, with the summer heat and winter upon us, your boards, with an S on the end, that means TOXA and Live Oaks. With the heat and weather upon us, your boards made the decision to suspend Music on the Lake until further notice. So for 9 months, this board, TOXA, has been telling us they weren't involved in the decision. The announcement from Live Oaks on their website says your boards made the decision. So I'm not calling either one a liar. We would just like to know which is true. Were they involved in it? And if you were, you've been telling us false information since it happened, because you said you weren't involved in the decision. It didn't have anything to do with you. Several members said that last month. Anyway, I have a few minutes here that I want to peacefully just share a couple dates and some things that have happened that are causing some of this controversy, and I hope to add clarity. I'm not pushing for Music on the Lake again. A lot of people in the community are. I'm playing other places, and people are loving the music. I played at St. Pete Yacht Club a couple weeks ago. Had a blast. I did a party St. Patrick's Day. It was half the work that I do on the lake here, and they gave me $700. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing a lot of this information up, TOXA board has yet to discuss what really happened on Memorial Day. So I just have a little reminder here. This will just take a couple minutes. May 29th, we had our Memorial Day cookout. TOXA President Ed impatiently interrupted me, Johnny D, in the middle of a song that I was singing for 100 people.
That's not true.
JD called him out. 100 people saw you, Ed.
I saw it. I asked to make an announcement.
Yeah, and I told you I asked you to move for 2 minutes till the song was over. You refused to move, so I stopped the song. Anyway, let me go
You
on.
asked me to move. You said.
Anyway, he
"Then
rudely
wait till
interrupted
after
me
the
and I
song."
called him out in front of 100 people,
Sure.
just like he interrupted me in front of 100 people. May 30th, the next day, Live Oaks president Jerry Beers falsely told Johnny D falsely that the board met and voted to cancel Music on the Lake immediately. JB violated Timber Oaks bylaws, Roman numeral 8, directors, number 11, that states that Jerry Beers can't cancel a major event all by himself without any proper authority or consideration from others. There's no minutes, votes, or signatures. Jerry Beers also said that Live Oaks wanted to separate from JD. June 2nd, just a few days later, TOXA President Ed falsely told Tom Phipps that he had met with the board and they decided Timber Oaks players could not sponsor Music on the Lake. Even though Tom reminded Ed that a precedent had been set by that same good takeover murder mystery, another event Live Oaks passed on. Why weren't they able to do it? TOXA President Ed violated Timber Oaks bylaws, the same one I mentioned earlier, Roman numeral 8, directors, number 11, that states Ed Wainer can't cancel a major event all by himself without any proper authority or consideration from others. There was no meetings, minutes, votes, or signatures. Last month at the February 24th, 2024 TOXA meeting, President Ed quoted this other bylaw, not realizing that TOXA and Live Oaks were also violating this very law jointly. The purpose of this is the bylaw that President Ed read at the meeting after I finished speaking last month about bylaws. President Ed said the purpose of Live Oaks is to plan and operate the official calendar of social events for the benefit and participation of all residents. Need to emphasize Live Oaks is under the umbrella of TOXA. Both board presidents have violated multiple bylaws by allowing Live Oaks to carelessly cancel Music on the Lake and exclude a large group of residents, 60 to 100 weekly, from enjoying their event that they want. Residents had their favorite outdoor event taken away. Music on the Lake was wrongfully and illegally canceled. This is almost over. So Live Oaks is not planning and operating the official calendar of social events for the benefit and participation of all residents. Instead, they have removed the benefit and participation for residents of the largest, most attended outdoor event in the history of Timber Oaks without any reasonable explanation. Question. In June of 2020, Andrea misspoke and said 2010, Music on the Lake. In 2020 of June 2020, Music on the Lake was approved by TOXA. No other sponsor was needed. On what date was Music on the Lake disapproved by TOXA? And where are the minutes, votes, or signatures? The free speech of concerned and upset residents has been shut down at recent TOXA and Live Oaks meetings. They say hatred is blind. Will our Live Oaks and TOXA members ever open their eyes? Thank you.
Kathy Hordiak of Teba Court. I just have to say, I've been here for many years, over 25 years. My family is owned in here. And when COVID happened, I was really frightened. The only thing I did that time was go to the car wash to say hello to somebody as I drove by, and also to go down to see Johnny D play down in Monterey. And that was the only time I ever saw anybody through COVID. But it involved the Music on the Lake, and it was an awful lot of fun. And I just want to say, why can't people just be kind to each other? We're living in God's waiting room. Just waiting for another potential loss or sickness to happen to us. I almost died a few months ago when I was a very bad concussion. I was actually quadriplegic for about 15 minutes in an accident, and I got through it. So you never know when something's going to be taken away from you. Johnny D got through terrible cancer. He almost lost his voice, and he gained it back. Let's give Johnny back his voice, because he's part of our community, and everybody needs to get along. I want to thank the board, the volunteers, the previous TOXA board, for bringing a really healthy atmosphere that we had going on for quite a while. And I hope that the new board also allows things to be healthy. We need to all get along and have a kumbaya moment of everyone just getting along and loving each other, because we need to do it, because this, after all, is God's waiting room, and when's the next loss going to occur? Thank you.
Diane Walk, 8014. I'm kind of all about conflict resolution. And it seems to me that the obvious thing is we just swore in 4 new Live Oaks board members. So why aren't we just trying to talk to the new Live Oaks board about this problem? And perhaps have a little subcommittee of residents meet with them. And I worked at Penn State, and I mean, if the faculty members could get along, I think that we can come to some sort of resolution. And it's a new day, and it's a new board, and I understand what Andrea said about the one person, but it would have to be a vote, and one person isn't going to be able to, unless if they do have the veto power. Anyway, I think it's at least worth a try. Is going to Live Oaks, which is where it's supposed to be because it's entertainment, and then see what happens from there. I do think that we're all adults and can work something out. Thank you.
Mickey White, 8404, Winding Wood. I look at this situation as a personality clash problem. And I don't think that that personality clash, could result in all the community members having their throats cut, essentially. So they can't appreciate the music on the lake. Thank you.
Live Oaks is a committee, and people need to realize that. I was very surprised to see the board having the little ceremony for calling in the new residents, the new board for Live Oaks. In the past, as I remember, I've been here many years, and so everything with me is in the past. Doesn't always mean it's right, but as I recall. And I would say that at one time, Live Oaks used to have their own ceremony. So if you're going to swear in the Live Oaks committee, quote unquote, does that mean you're going to swear in all the other committees, all the other committees that come up? Doesn't make sense. What's happened lately is that some people think Live Oaks is running everything here. They are not, and they shouldn't be. In anything that goes on, it should be the board that makes the decision to have this affair there and to cancel it. So someone from Live Oaks took it upon themselves, which is a committee, to discard this new. I don't attend it anymore. I did in the beginning because it was fun and whatnot, but it's kind of turned into another karaoke type of thing. But I would say that the board, Donna's outburst was unnecessary because she's a board member. Either she's for it or she's against it. But I think the board really needs to lighten up and make the decision and eliminate Live Oaks from that, because you are in charge of anybody that, like, she just came up before Diane and asked your permission. And so did Johnny D. And so it should have been only you that canceled it, and you should have reprimanded whoever was the one that canceled it, who was a committee member.
Back when Live Oaks closed down all the events at the clubhouse, one resident stood up and he gave us something to look forward to.
You identify yourself.
Tanya Binkley, Monterey. Anyways, he gave us something to look forward to, and the residents really enjoyed it. So then Live Oaks saw that, and they wanted to take some ownership on it because it's a fun event for the community. It was never their event to cancel. It was always the residents' event. That man volunteered his time. Why would anyone want to volunteer here? That's how you treat your volunteers? But now I just want to point out Live Oaks failed all of us when they closed all the events for the stupid flu.
Tom Phipps, 8120 Bismarck Court, beautiful Spanish gate. Question. Concerning what we've been talking about with Music on the Water, Johnny B and Friends, or whatever. Does Taxa board at this point have any plan to, what is your plan? Do you have any plan? Basically, I think we all want to know that. Are you going to vote on it? Are you going to just let it go by the wayside, or what? Do you have a plan? Can you share that with us?
Our plan is to let Live Oaks run the entertainment. Live Oaks has a new board. If they want to start Music on the Lake back up, they can do that. Our thing, we just approve the use of the parking lot. So the issue is with Live Oaks. They do the entertainment, and so all you have to do is ask Live Oaks to do it.
Hey, I take exception to that, Mr. President. As has been stated before, Kaleidoscope was not under Live Oaks. Coral Airs is not under Live Oaks. It's under Taxa. And quite frankly, Taxa is over everything.
That's correct.
Okay, so for this board to just pass it on to a committee like that, when there's this much contention in our community, it's bigger than just passing it off. I think this board needs to take charge of the issue. Thank you.
Pamela Damba, 8211 Sanfleet Court. I felt like that day when Ed got up and said, somebody's parked on the grass. I'm sorry to say that I laughed it off. I thought, oh my gosh, it was me. I was the one parked on the grass. I really didn't think about it. I did it. And I wanted to say to you, Ed, I'm sorry I didn't come up to you at that point and say, I'm so sorry. It was me. And I feel so bad because I feel like maybe if I had just gone up to say that to you, you would have understood that I really didn't mean to do that. And maybe, you know, it wouldn't have gone that way. I don't know. You can't speak for if I could have, would have, should have. But I just wanted to you and understand. I'm so sorry, and believe me, I don't park on the grass anymore. Really. Thank you.
I have a file, Andrea Lucian, Monterey Village. I have a file folder full of letters and cards and such that were presented to the TSCA board. And I would be more than happy to meet with the president, Beverly, and we can perhaps resolve this issue very amiably. I think I could probably convince Johnny to return to sing under Live Oaks. I would hope so. But it's preferable, definitely, to return under the TSCA umbrella, where he began singing in 2021. I'm sorry, I made a mistake earlier. We have to try to get along. We have to try to resolve this. It's been 9 months. My goodness, one of us could have been pregnant and produced a baby in all that time. I've been accused of starting up something. I didn't start anything. We had an abscess in this community, and it was just festering and festering. It was on social media. People were talking everywhere. And we tried to talk to the board, and we felt you just were not listening. I voted for all of you on the board. I thought you would represent us. I thought you were all good listeners. I still have confidence in all of you. Even though Ed didn't call me back yesterday, I still have confidence in Ed. I would like to just congratulate Rick, because he's a man of integrity and he's leaving the community board, and I'm really gonna miss him. And so good luck and have all kinds of fun, Rick. And that's all I'm gonna say.
My name is Darla Nolan, and I live at 8605 Benton Court. I direct the choral airs. Can you hear me?
We can hear it.
Okay. I am so divided. I love all the board members. I love the Live Oaks board members, the previous and the current ones. I love the choral airs, and I love Johnny D. And it hurts me. It hurts me so much to see the people I love not to be able to get along. And I know that some of you feel like infractions were made, and at the time, Johnny told me, I said, Johnny, why don't you go to the manager and have people on both sides just work this out? And he didn't. He didn't do that. This wouldn't have had to go on and on and on like this. I love you all. I just hope most of you all are Christians. God gives us all a second chance. I pray that you all give Johnny a second chance. And I pray that we can just get along and love each other again like we used to.
I just want to say something. Thank you all for staying and listening. And at some point, the board made a decision to turn music events over to Live Oaks. I don't know that they have an activities director, but I guess the next step is to present it to the Live Oaks board, whether they'll have music on the lake or not. I think, as Ed said, we don't plan to do anything more with it. I guess the board just isn't going to take this up. You people have raised a lot of good points. Hopefully this isn't going to be a bone of contention for our community. Well, I don't know. Hopefully we'll have some kind of music on the lake.